Are you a coach looking to master the art of group coaching calls? Well, welcome to today's video where we're going to explore the keys to running an effective group coaching session. Now, I'm asked about this a lot, which is why I wanted to bring it to you. So whether you're a seasoned pro or just getting started, the strategies we're going to discuss today will help you ensure every client feels seen, heard, and leaves the call with clarity and confidence to move forward. First and foremost, what do you need in order to set the stage for success? The very first thing you want to have in mind before you go into any group coaching call is to make sure you have a structure and an agenda to work from. Begin with a very clear agenda for every single call. Okay, and make sure that in this agenda your clients can add to about what they need to ask or have help with. Make sure there's a very clear outcome for what they're going to learn on the call if you're teaching. If you're running a Q&A call, make sure that you are chunking content up and down so that every client in the call feels that you are speaking to them. There's no worse feeling for a client than when they hop on a Q&A call and someone is 7 steps ahead of them and they feel like the information is above their knowledge. Now, with that being said, the key to that is making sure your clients understand that repetition is key. And even though they may not be at that level yet, them listening to that information and hearing how it's going to help them when they get there sets a frame and a little bit of prior knowledge. But you still want to make sure you chunk it down to how that applies to someone 7 steps behind. You want to make sure that every call has a specific focus and a goal, and that your clients know when they are done with that call what they're walking out with. If you're running Q&A calls, you want to make sure that you're collecting some of those questions ahead of time so that they can be categorized, and chunking up and chunking down becomes easier. You want to make sure that in your coaching calls, you are encouraging active participation from all clients. You want to make sure that cameras are on if they're on Zoom, that they're paying attention and not distracted. You want to make sure that they're providing their own pieces and insights into what's happening. And while you're coaching, you want to make sure you're using open-ended questions so that you can spark discussions. You want to set the tone that you're creating a safe and respectful environment for sharing. Now, here's where the magic happens. When you run your group coaching call effectively and everyone is welcomed and everyone is in, there are ways for you to be able in your group coaching call to offer individualized support. So what you want to do is you want to make sure that you have a system and a way to address each client's questions and concerns. And then you can provide tailored guidance based on their needs. This goes into chunking up and chunking down, which we just talked about. And when you have a system to collect some of those questions ahead of time, you're more prepared for chunking up and chunking down. But also, classrooms and live calls like Zoom allow you to use breakout sessions. These breakout sessions can be used to put clients of equal level together where they can share information. They can get personalized support based on where they are in their business. We also want to make sure that you keep an eye on the time. You want to be respectful of keeping the time that you have for the call within those constraints. So you want to keep an eye on the clock, and you want to design your session so you're not spending too much time on any one thing. So you need to use time blocks so that you can make sure that specific segments of the call are happening. Example would be the first 5 minutes welcomes and intros. The next 2 minutes would be big wins or any wins and celebrating wins. Then you might strategically break into breakout rooms for 10 minutes to work on some task that they all need to do. Then you might bring them all back in the room for 10 minutes to discuss their biggest takeaways from their little small group session. Right? You want to use specific time blocks to map out specific segments of the call. And then you want to make sure you're ending the session with a recap of everything you covered, what they learned, their biggest takeaways, and action steps for them to move forward. You also want to make sure that you're providing them with resources for after the call so they can continue to learn and implement. and offer follow-up support in your group, in your paid group, in your communities, in your Slack, wherever you're offering support. Follow up and make sure your clients understand how they're getting that support. And then make sure that your clients have a clear path forward when they leave your call. So here's what we've done. Now, because I get this question all the time, what we've done is we have prepared a coaching call worksheet that's going to help you plan and run your group coaching calls effectively. It's going to serve as a valuable tool to keep you organized and ensure your clients get the most out of each section. So if you want this worksheet, click the link below and download it for free, because it is your step-by-step guide to mastering your coaching calls. And with these strategies and your coaching call worksheet in hand, you can elevate your group coaching sessions, ensuring your clients get the most value and results from your program.